Okay. Wow. What a day. What a day. We just went live with Kelly Morgan, registered dietitian, on her Instagram page. We tried to go live on my Facebook page 3 times and we failed miserably. So I'm going to say hello to all of you. Where is my assistant when I need her the most? Take number 3, explanation point. Tell me where you are tuning in from. Okay, so welcome, Jason. How are you doing? Jason Doran, tell me where you're tuning in from. I believe you're in Chicago. This is the 3rd time today we have tried to go live. I'm actually losing my voice. That's how much I went live today. I went live on Kelly Morgan's Instagram page. You guys can check her out. I'm going to tag her right here. Thank you for having me on your live today. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about something that I feel is profoundly healing and has been life-changing in my life. And actually, Kelly and I were going to talk about it when we were on the live together, but since I kept inviting her on here and we can't figure out how to make it work, I'm just going to talk about my transition to a plant-based diet, why I even have a card in my deck called You Are Being Called to Go Vegan in my new deck, The Lessons of the Mystical Muse, why I have written 3 plant-based cookbooks, why I'm part of the plant-based bundle with over 100 other vegan influencers, writers, authors, speakers, TV celebrities, etc. So let me take a drink real quick. Because my goodness, has it been a long day. I've learned not to allow things to affect my vibrational frequency or energy when they go wrong, because I realize that everything happens for a reason. So hopefully we'll be able to figure it out and get Kelly to come on my Facebook Live in the near future. It's funny, I've only had one other person on my Facebook Live, and that was in 2020. And this sound was mysteriously messed up on that one. So, you guys, I want to talk about veganism for a second and how it's helped me transcend and grow over the years. Those of you who don't know, I have been 100% vegan, mostly raw vegan, for 26 years. So when I first went vegan and I said, hey, I'm on a raw food diet, welcome. Welcome, Christopher. Thank you so much for tuning in. When I first went vegan and I was telling people I'm on a raw vegan diet, people thought I meant sushi. They literally would say, do you mean sushi? I'm like, no, I mean veganism, like raw food. So I started growing my own food, another card in my deck, back when I was in Ohio, when I lived in Vandalia. My grandmother also grew her own food. I went vegan. I started caring for my gut health back when I was in my 20s. And when I originally went vegan, it was for complete vanity purposes. So I had seen a girl out and she was very beautiful. She was also 20 years older than me. And I asked, what do you eat? Because I was into nutrition, but I was suffering with some eating issues at the time. And she explained to me that she was a vegan. And I was like, I want that glow. I want what she has. I'm going to go plant-based. So really overnight, I went vegan. So at the time, I was doing a lot of fitness magazine covers. They liked you really tan and really built. And I had to really maintain a certain type of physique in order to get paid. So I was doing that, but all the while I was transitioning onto a plant-based diet. And actually, my largest spread in a magazine, which was 32 pages, the magazine was called Muscular Development. I was 100% vegan 1 year in at that time. So my vegan journey began as a fitness model. I felt sick, I felt tired, I felt like I was aging rapidly in the face, and I chose a plant based diet. But as years followed and as the time went along, I realized that I was more of a vegan for the animals than I was for other reasons. I was more of a vegan for the animals than I was vanity. I was more of a vegan for the animals than I was just to be doing this quote fad diet, which actually was not a fad at all at the time. I mean, when I went vegan and the first time I ever went on the news was in Dayton, Ohio, literally people had never heard of it. That's how ancient it is. And so I was talking to the beautiful Kelly Morgan today. We went live on her page on Instagram, Veggie Mom Cooks. And welcome, Patricia. Welcome, Robert. Thank you for the help earlier, sweetie. Welcome, Jared. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Welcome, Nate. I'm still a little bit frazzled because I couldn't go live with my friend. We went. Everyone who joined us for the live earlier, thank you so much. We tried to go live 3 times and Robert was trying to troubleshoot it. So sweet. So, one of the things that veganism has really done for me over the years, and I think it can really help all of you, is it's given me the ability to have a tenderness in my heart space that otherwise wouldn't have been there. And I know you guys are like, well, how can food or the abstinence of make you tender in your heart space? Well, when you're not eating flesh, when you're not eating anything with a face, when you're not eating anything that has the ability to give birth and birth a child, when you're not eating animals, you develop a sensitivity to everything. For example, if I have to handle a spider, right? Or an animal that maybe drowns in the jacuzzi or something, like a little pack rat or something like that. There's a genuine prayer that's said for that life, and there's a genuine knowledge and understanding that that animal sacrificed itself for whatever spiritual meaning or whatever betterment of my life that's supposed to come into play. So this is where veganism really transforms one in the heart space, where it really can open up our heart on a grandiose scale when it comes to having a human understanding of all living things. And how, you get a lot of people that say, well, animals eat plants, so what about the plants? Well, plants don't have a heartbeat. Plants don't have a face, right? Animals feel pain. And I think now we're all exposed to, on a grandiose scale, these beautiful animals and how they're being treated, even on, non-factory farms, even on grass-fed farms, even we're being exposed to this. We're seeing the truth. We're seeing the baby chickens get thrown into we're seeing the cows suffering and being walked down an alley to, their demise. We're seeing all this. We're seeing what goes on in the Yulin Dog Festival. We're seeing all of this. And we're noticing that, hey, we can actually make a difference. We can make a difference by not consuming these things. We can buy a big, huge watermelon and feast on that throughout the day instead of stuffing ourselves with eggs and bacon before noon, before our liver has even had the opportunity to detoxify itself. So we're seeing this on a grand scale. We're seeing that eating pork closes the third eye, our eye of intuition, that eating decomposing animals closes off our heart space. If you stick a child in front of an apple or a chicken, the child will go for the apple. The child wants the living, the fruits. Fruit is from the gods. It's written about in Genesis. Throughout Genesis, if you want to know how to eat, read Genesis, the first chapter of the Bible. I always say everything you need to know is in the first 5 pages of the Bible. It really is. So when I went vegan 26 years ago, and I was in my 20s, and I was transitioning out of an 11-year relationship, and I was about to move home after building a house with someone, I literally left that union because as I was going vegan and I was trying to make vegetable kebabs on the grill, and I remember he said, "This is a phase, it's going to pass." And I just thought, something so meaningful to me and that's really opening my heart space to see the truth in the world is not a phase. It's the way I'm going to live the rest of my life. And so I moved home. I wanted to be around people who supported me. I found the support I needed from my mom. I didn't find it from anyone else. In fact, a lot of the people that were closest to me really let me down at that time because they thought it was another form of an eating disorder. See, what happens when you go plant-based is your body sheds excess. It sheds excess weight. It sheds excess waste through the bowels. It sheds everything. So you start to look very thin. You start to look very emaciated. But the truth of the matter is the body is detoxing on a cellular level. And that is vitally important in order for absorption to occur. And what do I mean by absorption? Well, I mean your hair to grow, your skin to glow, your muscles to form. All of this happens once we go through this cellular detoxification phase when we open our body to living foods. And when I say living foods, I don't mean vegan junk food. I mean actual sprouts, salads, fresh fruits, vegetables. You have to understand that the body stops making enzymes in your 20s. And so when you're not eating enzyme-rich foods, right? When you're eating foods that are decomposing before they even get to your fridge, and then they're refrigerated or frozen, and then they get cooked, they have no enzymes. So you're not eating life. You're eating the opposite. So when I went live today with Kelly Morgan, registered dietitian, we were promoting the plant-based bundle. And the plant-based bundle is a program. I shared it a few days ago on Instagram and Facebook. Go look at that post. It's where 100 of us, authors, speakers, writers, TV personalities that are all vegan, yoga instructors, we all got together and we put together what's called the vegan bundle. And although you can't get amazing things like the lessons of the mystical Muse or Eat Right for Your Zodiac, you can get these in my personal bundle, which I'll link in the comments section below. If you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, you can get those in my bio. The link is in my bio. You can get my Juicing for Beauty book in that bundle, which is one of the first books I wrote over 15 years ago that I'm so very, very proud of. So, what I'm trying to say here, you guys, is the reason I've written these books over the years, and The reason I created this oracle deck, the Lessons of the Mystical Muse, that has cards in it like gut health, you are being called to go vegan, grow your own food, sexy on salads, is because there's a vibrational frequency that is elevated within each and every one of us. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care who you love or who you don't love. Our vibrational frequency is heightened and raised when we choose to not eat decomposing flesh, when we choose to actually eat real food, whole food, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, sprouts, avocados, coconuts in their natural state. They can be made into delicious cuisines, absolutely delicious juices, delicious pizzas, delicious burgers when they're mixed and spiced appropriately. And this is what we really need to learn. This is what we need to be educating people on. This is why I started a YouTube channel 13 years ago, showing people how to make dressing and vegan burgers and vegan pizzas and vegan pies. This is why. Because it changes not only your body on a cellular level, it changes your mind, it opens your heart, it expands you on an intellectual level. You're able to retain knowledge better. You're able to heal easier. So I wanted to hop on here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section. I doubt anyone's even welcome in Calgary. I doubt anyone's even on here because we went on here like 15 times trying to get Kelly on here. So thank you guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is really, I think, what started me even on my spiritual journey. It was very hard to be false and be in a false relationship and live in a home that I didn't truly love and surround myself with people, even family, friends, whatever, that weren't supporting me in a loving way and saying, hey, great job, whatever, when I was eating real food. Because with real food, the cellular detoxification happens and the veil is lifted. You know, a lot of you know me from my intuition. You know of my intuitive abilities. You know I have a second YouTube channel built off my intuition. That intuition, of course, has a lot to do with my placements, but it also has a lot to do with the way I eat and what I abstain from. So this is what I've been trying to teach you guys all along. It's not what you eat, it's really what you abstain from. And it's focusing on eating a primarily plant-based diet. And it's not a diet, because once you start eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and you see all the countless ways you can mix and mold these into incredible meals, you'll discover how delicious it is. Your actual palate will start to change. You know, I see a lot of videos of like Chick-fil-A and these places where people are finding really disgusting things in their food. And I don't have to worry about any of that because I would never eat that crap. I would never eat that. I would never feed it to my kid. I would never eat it. It just never has resonated with me in over almost 30 years. And so you have to really ask yourself, even if you're, quote, getting meat from a grass-fed farmer, well, there's no real ethical way to handle an animal. and process it for food. There's not. It ends in destruction of an innocent animal. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to see things happen organically, right? I like to see things happen because it was the animal's time to go. I don't like to see that forced, that, and how they're force impregnating the animals, and they're force feeding them, and they're putting hormones into their bodies, and then those hormones are going into the food and then being processed even more, and then that's ending up on your plate, and then you're ending up with disease. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that's a healthy, vibrant way to eat or live. It's not the time we're here on this earth, it's the quality of our life that counts. And if you're having trouble walking up and down stairs, if you're having health issues and you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, I would strongly encourage you to adopt a more humane, kind, ethical, gentler, healthier way of eating. And unfortunately, that's going to take a lot of reprogramming of what you've been taught is good for you. Because what you've been taught is good for you is not necessarily good. And you only have to look up on, you can Google how long doctors go to nutrition school for, when doctors go to school. How long that period of education is along their educational journey. It's not much. So, they're designed to hand pills out, not tell you to, eat better. So I wanted to share this with all of you. Oh my goodness, I wish we would have been able to go live with Kelly. I'm really upset, but we did go live on her Instagram page, so you can check that out. It's Veggie Mom Eats, and she is a beautiful soul. I adore her. So yeah, so check her out. And thank you guys for supporting this video. It was like the third time I tried to go live. I appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead and subscribe to my 2 YouTube channels, Andrea Cox TV for health, wellness, vegan recipes, the Detox Intuitive for intuitive guidance, and the Oracle readings. Be well. Bye-bye. Welcome, Ted. Okay, I'm very proud of you guys for being quiet boys. And because of that, Mommy's going to take you on a walk before she goes to the gym.